Hi, it's Nancy with Garden Scroll. Today I put a few little plants in this pot, just some tobacco plants and some pink verbena. And then in this little pot in front of it I put tobacco plants and some of my little petunia starts that came up volunteer from last year. Also, I wanted to say that I did see on this railroad tie right up the way here, right about here, I guess, there was a snake laying on there. It wasn't really big. It was longer than a foot, maybe 2 foot long, and about as wide as my middle finger, but he had a head that looked like he might have been a poisonous snake, so he's given me a few bad dreams since then. I didn't get to catch him. He went somewhere, I didn't know not where. My husband just finished putting up a new addition to my water garden, which is this little birdhouse in the form of a seagull. I took a bouquet of peonies to my therapist yesterday, the ones that helped me with my knee. They looked like they were plenty busy, so I'm sure someone else is hurting like I was, but hopefully soon they'll be feeling as good as I do. I was afraid my little peonies, they looked so pathetic after the rains, and I was afraid they'd be gone. So I went ahead and took them a bouquet, and now this morning, even though it's still cool, the peonies are opening up to the sunlight. And I don't know the names of all of them right offhand. I don't know the name of this one, but it's a beauty. This little fluffy in the center, and then the outside petals. And this is my first and possibly my favorite peony. It's called Bowl of Beauty, and that's what it looks like to me. I took several little starts off of this one for friends, so it's kind of not very big right now, but it was huge, and so eye-catching that they would notice it and want one. So I did get some off of it. I'm probably not going to get any more off it for a while and let it get back to its big pretty blooms again. That blue salvia is looking good this morning too. And these are hardy geranium blooms. I see a pretty little Dutch iris blooming right there. And there's some pretty white peonies right over here. And when I took them to my therapist, they were all closed up, but now they're opening. They're trying to reach out for the sunlight. They're pretty little miniature roses coming up here. There's some more of that. This is a double Trinity plant. I will want to put that in a pot now that I know what it will do if I don't, because it will take over and kill everything else out. I don't want that, but I think it's a pretty little plant, so I will put some of it in a pot. These are what are these? Sweet William, as well as these, and then there's another little color right here. They're also pretty. And these peonies are a lovely purple color. And these are about gone. This is what I was afraid they would all look like. So I went ahead and took them some, but some of them are still looking kind of new. Some of them haven't opened up yet at all, some of my peonies, but these are just all faded. So pretty when they are in bloom though. It's always worth having it in the garden. Some more pretty little peonies that are about gone thanks to our weather. We had quite a bit of rain, which is wonderful. I'm not complaining about the rain. We'll be wishing we had some before long anyway, I'm pretty sure. It'd be wonderful if we had plenty of rain this season. This is a pretty little rose that's not opened up yet. I see a pretty little dianthus hiding in there. And then this is where I put that pretty calabrachoa. I just love this color. I hope it will do well here. It wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but that's where I needed something, and that's the kind of pot it likes. And I think it likes this side because it does get some shade, so hopefully it'll be a good thing. And this little peony is looking pretty this morning. As is this one, just a little bit farther from it in the garden. Not very much farther at all, actually. There's the columbine, and then there's that other little, there's a daylily, some daylilies in between too, and then there's the other little peony, and then back over to this one. I think I had some of these in my little arrangement, but they were so closed up that you really couldn't tell exactly what they looked like, but they were still pretty, all grouped together in a bouquet. I put a new little gardening angel out here. This one right here, I had a turtle there, and I loved that little turtle. It fit there so well, but it was one of those that's made from some type of clay and maybe concrete, but it just totally disintegrated and fell into the pot itself, just down in the earth. So I took it out and put this little angel there that's made of resin. I found that resin lasts the longest in my garden of any of the other things I've tried. I don't know if I can't remember if I showed you that I did put this little perilla. Yes, I think I did, because I remember saying that I put the perilla there and the little vinca, and then I also put this little chartreuse color coleus in there with the perilla and the vinca. The dianthus is looking pretty this morning. Let me come right on up here, because here's another one. Just showing off. Looking great. I think after the rain, things are already beginning to fill out. This little pot seems like it's fuller than it was when I put it in there. It doesn't look nearly as scraggly, and hopefully it will just keep doing wonderfully well. This little peony is just now opening up. I think the rains may have stunted it a little, but hopefully it'll come on out of it. The roses are looking good, and I see that I have one of the Henry clematis opening up here. These are the biggest of the clematis that I know of. Pure white and so pretty. I did keep my purple and orange, or creamsicle orange color going in this little pot, and I used the purple vinca and the creamsicle geranium. When that fills out, I think it will be very pretty too. And I may put some little trindles of creeping Jenny a lot down the side of it also. So this used to be a pretty peony, but this one is all gone after the rains and winds. The pretty little rose. This is called an almost thornless rose. And it's beginning to open up quite a few on it too. There's more of the Trinity plant that I have got to take care of. That one is a single bloom, and over here we have a double bloom. There's another double bloom. I noticed that some of my dahlias are coming up. Some of them are not yet, but I think they still will, and fill that area out nicely. And this year I did put me several stakes there, and I'm going to try to wrap them around the dahlias and hold them up this time. I haven't been doing that, which I've always known I needed to do that, but I just hadn't gotten around to it before. It is wonderful to be getting some things done so that I can have time to do other things that I enjoy. But it's well worth it to wait and to get some of it going good. I'm very proud of the garden. It does look very beautiful. I enjoy to be out here. I enjoy to share it on YouTube, and hopefully people will enjoy getting to see the flowers and just watch the garden grow as it changes from day to day. And I was wondering what this little vine was that's just kind of sprawling out here. And so I ordered another chocolate plant because I thought my chocolate plant didn't live, and it looks pretty much just like this one. So I'm guessing that I put that chocolate plant over here. It didn't live where I put it the first time, so I changed places for it, and I couldn't remember that I put it here, but I think that's what that is. So we'll see how it works up on that Rose of Sharon bush. There were some little larkspur growing up in the one pot that I changed into my orange and purple pot, and so I just transplanted them into this with the moss, and they kind of look good there, so hopefully they'll do well there. A little clematis, I think it's a purple one, I'm not sure. And then this pretty rose growing up this trellis. I would like to have another trellis similar to this, I think. But also I'm trying to kill out this bigger, where my shadow is there, but right there it's still trying to come up, and it's a porcelain vine, which is a beautiful plant. It truly is. It has purple and turquoise and seemed like another color. Little berries come up on it. They're not tiny either. They're big enough you can see them and really appreciate them. The only problem is the birds eat the berries and they come up all over the garden. It's as bad almost as a trumpet vine, maybe as bad. So I'm trying to get rid of it. I just love this verbascum, but it's also mullein in the hollyhock family, and I've heard that it can get invasive. This may be a plant that one day I'll be out here trying to get rid of, but right now I'm just enjoying it. I've actually wanted it there for so long, and I had one little plant, and then it finally lasts through the winter and then put me down seeds to come up, and I just think it's so pretty. I can't get delphinium to grow, and this is just kind of takes the place of delphinium with its beautiful tall spikes. So I think it's beautiful. If it becomes invasive and takes out another plant, I won't think it's this beautiful anymore, but right now I certainly do. Isn't that pretty? And I notice I have a purple one. I'll go over there and get it on here for you too. It's not nearly as big, but here's the little purple, kind of a dusky dark or muted purple, but it's very pretty too. I noticed the blue anchusa are blooming. They're in the forget-me-not family, and that's what they look like, except they're tall, but they have the pretty little blue flowers on them. I noticed this one here is laying over, so it probably means there's roly-polies down there, and I'll probably need to put something on it to try to save that one. Look at this beautiful little single rose. Isn't that pretty? And I've got some pots over there. I think there's 3, one there and one right there and one right there. Actually 2 right there that I'll want to do something with. I'm just not sure what yet. When we moved the rain tree, we had to take a bunch of stuff that I had hanging up on it off, and then some of it fell over on some of the decor I had over there, so there's quite a bit of stuff over there that really still needs to be redone a bit, but hopefully I will get to that too. I don't know if I showed you this when I showed you the water garden, but isn't that a pretty little Siberian iris? And there's more peonies down this fence row and garden trail. I see just about 3 that have big enough blooms. I can show them to you on here, but this is of course one of them, this pretty white with the yellow center. Beginning to open up, but they're not very full yet. Looks like there might be one right there. It's pretty full, very pretty. The mock orange bush is blooming this morning. Blackberries. I think I know what these little seedlings are now, maybe. I think that these are verbenas, and I think this one right here is a bush morning glory. So we'll see if that turns out to be the case, and that'll be great that they came up volunteer. Like just little bonus plants you don't have to buy for this year anyway. The amaryllis is in pretty much full bloom this morning. Everything just does so much better after the rain. When we get rain, God knows just what to put in there to have them get the nutrition they need to look really great. This is one of the little garden decor that I moved from where it was on the rain tree to this place right here, which is the redbud tree. And then around behind me, to go all the way around, I put some little things that were on the rain tree. I put them here on this fruit cocktail tree. So there's this little acorn bird house that I put there. This little welcoming bear. And another little bird house. Let me have to go around this way a little bit to get it. This little bird house. And then there's another little birdhouse around on the other side. I'll go around and get it for you too. But you've probably seen these if you've seen any of the 2018 posts. These were in the backyard still, but they were back farther under the rain tree, which is now gone. I also put up a little tiny hummingbird feeder, and actually, since they need to be changed probably every other day, which I do good to change them every week, but this small one actually is the best because it's easy to fill, you don't waste any, and keep it fresh that way. And then also right above it there I put a little hummingbird swing. So we'll see if they use that. And I think they will. They love this size. They often use my tomato cages to sit and rest on.